Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wooden Sheep podcast, a gaming podcast where we're going to be talking about articles like the one I read today, which was about Scum, the game, getting penises in the game, finally, after all this time we've all been waiting for. And there was a bug where every time you log in, it gets a little bit bigger. But today with us, we've got SiminaCindy, we've got Ragewild and Guf. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello.
Have any of you played Scum? Or even heard of it?
Yeah, but I thought it looked interesting. Like
It's super like a super hardcore simulation survival game where like if you just pull up like a screen of the stats screen, it's all sorts of graphs and bars and numbers where like everything is tracked, and some guy is on his quest to try and become the heaviest player in the game by just eating all sorts of junk food, and the developers need to implement a heart attack to stop this guy from doing too much. Like, I don't know, that's...
The character actually becomes fatter?
Yeah. It's... And, like, that's the kind of game where I think you, like, pull down your pants and you can take a shit and you see it, like, dripping. It's, like, super...
Oh, yeah! I saw that.
And you can make masks out of other people's skin and stuff. It's just, like, a bunch of criminals trying to survive. I think it's a zombie apocalypse, maybe. But they're really, really scarce, the zombies.
Are the dicks as floppy and windy as Conan Exile's dicks?
I don't know, man. Have you guys seen the dicks in Conan?
Yes.
No. They're pretty great. But it actually reminds me of a lot of... Have you guys heard of... You probably have. Dwarf Fortress?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Okay, so you know about it. But for the viewers, it's just like this really in-depth, again, simulation thing. Where just... the graphics are very... archaic looking kind of, but it's a one-man team, I think, or two-man team. They've been making the game for 10 to 20 years, something like that. Jeez. And it's so complex and the systems are so in-depth. Like at some point with one patch, every single player was finding their cats dead with vomit on them, and they were like, I don't know what's going on. And they basically traced it back to dwarves. When you gave them an action and they were drinking in the bar, they would just throw the cups all over the floor, and like the alcohol would spread everywhere, and the cats would walk through it, get their fur covered in alcohol, and then they would clean themselves and ingest the alcohol and get alcohol poisoning and puke and die. But like, it's just so crazy, man. It looks like, so...
The depth of the simulation is just that.
Yeah. It's really crazy.
Yeah, there is a streamer I followed who played a lot of Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, it looks super interesting, but I don't know if I feel like investing the time to try and learn the game.
Yeah.
It's so in depth. Yeah, but have any of you been playing anything interesting this week or recently, apart from Euro Truck Simulator, Guf? I know you.
Well, I've only been playing Battlefield 1, basically.
Oh, okay. I mean, is there anything to even talk about in Euro Truck? Like, is there something that's...
I mean,
or do you just drive a truck around?
You can crash the car. That's interesting, right?
Well, then you have to pay money for it to repair it and shit.
Okay. So there's no penises in Euro Truck.
I've never seen any penises.
I'm not
in
interested.
Truck Simulator,
I'm not interested.
But there are trucks.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, how does it compare to American Truck Simulator? Have you played that?
Yeah, I played that too. It's basically the same thing, just with the different environment.
Guf, do you know how successful simulation games are in Sweden?
No, I don't know.
Because they are very successful in Germany, but like
yes,
not
I've
for
heard
people like us that are like dedicated to video games as a hobby. But they're just normal people just playing simulations like Farm Simulator and whatever they are.
Yeah, I never considered that actually. I remember when I was a kid, my uncle basically every year bought me a flying simulator game that I never played because I could never get it to run. But it's like the only games he played, just simulation games.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people like that in Germany. Like, they're very successful each year. At least they used to. I don't know how it is now, 28. I would assume it's still going.
Yeah? Okay, but how far does it go? Like the Surgeon Simulator count?
Probably not.
No, but more like classic stuff, like Farm Simulator, Train Simulator especially. Flight Simulators as well.
Vehicle mostly, right?
Yeah, realistic simulation.
Yeah.
Not like Goat Simulator, right?
No, not that silly stuff.
Have you seen Train Simulator, how much it costs to buy the full bundle?
You mean all the DLCs?
All
like
the DLCs.
5,000 euros? Yeah.
Yeah, it's something in the thousands.
10,000?
No, not 10,000. Something in the thousands.
Still, even 1,000, like what the fuck? Like what?
Yeah.
What is it? Just trained skins or something?
I mean, it's trains, so they're like developed properly on the inside, and they all play differently and stuff.
It also, yeah, there are a bunch of them as well.
It's
so.
trains and it's routes that you can drive the trains on and so on.
Okay, so okay, so it's actually like new locations and stuff as well.
Okay, but that reminds me of something. Wasn't there like a space game or something where people pay like thousands for their
Star
space?
Citizen? No, not Star Citizen.
It's this Star Citizen.
Is it Star Citizen? Is that
it's
out?
not even out yet. Yeah, it's not even.
I mean,
out.
it's not fully out. No, but there's also another game. Wasn't it Eve or something?
Eve,
Another-
yes. There is also there is a lot of money involved as well, but not like that amount. Because in Star Citizen, you like individuals pay thousands of dollars for ships they don't even own yet because the game isn't out yet.
Oh.
Oh man, and you can lose that in a fight and just
No,
Really?
in Eve, no. In Eve, you can like you can lose everything like forever. You have to rebuild it from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
In Star Citizen, I would assume it's like in Elite Dangerous, where you have to like pay a fee to get it back, but it's not like
A fee with real money?
No. With
Oh,
game
okay.
currency.
I think I'm thinking of Eve, where like people there's like huge fleets and giant battles with many really expensive ships and a lot of expensive cargo and stuff.
You mean also giant schemes and like spying and people cutting electricity to get people to log out? Yeah. That's
Oh,
Eve.
Seriously?
Yeah, in
jeez.
Russia, I know it was recorded. Like there were recorded incidents where people cut electricity because they knew where
Damn.
like rivals or enemies were living.
That's some next level shit.
Yeah, to get them to log out to be able to attack their ships unattended.
Jeez.
Whoa, that's actually really crazy.
There are numerous cases of industrial espionage as well. Like double agents in different organizations. Like Eve is like a economical thriller actually.
Damn, man.
That's like swatting, almost. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's weird. It's like you do it to
Yeah,
win the
like-
game, but there's a lot of real money involved. So
They should have made it so that if you get, disconnected, your ship just disappears or something.
Yeah, but that would be
Wow.
like
there's
I don't
probably other
just
factors.
there is also real money involved. Like really big battles incurred real money losses. Like if you transfer it to real money, around 15,000 euros and stuff like that.
Jeez.
So yeah.
This is how wars should be. Like, fuck sending real soldiers to die and shit. They should just play a game like this, and whoever wins, the country wins.
There are some sci-fi scenarios that play around with the idea of satellite wars.
Meaning what?
Where you don't like send real people to fight, but do it either through a tournament or through war simulations, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean I don't know how viable that would be. Like,
I mean,
Dude.
a prime example would be the movie I, Robot.
Yeah.
yeah, I watched it as a kid.
Yeah, no, not I, Robot. Sorry, Surrogate, I think it's called.
Okay, no, I
No.
don't know.
You don't know that one, okay? It was Surrogate. Yeah.
Didn't they do stuff like this in the past? Like,
Oh,
maybe ancient
sorry.
Rome or something?
No. They were
don't think so.
the Gladiator Wars, but that's not the same thing.
Mm.
No, Surrogate is basically a movie about that humans never leave their house anymore, but all like log into their cybernetic bodies.
Oh yeah, I do know this. I remember. that.
Yeah. So everyone stayed at home, never got outside, and they also fought wars just like that with mechanical bodies instead of their own.
Yeah, I remember. And like when it shows the real person coming out of the pod or whatever, they're
Yeah,
like
they're
really
all-
skinny and shitty
Yeah.
and unhealthy, but their like cybernetic bodies are like perfect.
Yeah. I think
Dude,
Bruce
that's
Willis
gonna-
played
that's gonna
that
happen.
movie. Yeah.
That's
I
gonna
don't know if
happen.
that'll happen.
Dude, that's totally gonna happen one day where we connect to some fucking.
It depends on where technology goes. Like for, can we segue to a different movie? I watched
Yeah.
especially for this podcast, to be honest. Today in the morning, I finally watched Ready Player One.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
so-
was like this.
Yeah, it came out I think last year, and is after the book that came out 2012. It's a very similar scenario.
Yeah, was it good? The trailer, to be honest, like looked kind of just generic. I mean, it'll be fun, but nothing that special. Am I wrong?
You are. It is quite more.
It's
than
really
that.
good,
and it's also very entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a look at some point.
It's almost like half normal movie, half cartoon, because there's a lot of CGI. But it was very enjoyable. But and there is also like a similar dystopic future where like the real world problems pile up and people just stop giving a damn, and everyone escapes to the giant video game.
Yeah, I like the idea of the world itself. Just I guess the scenes and the trailer also made it look a bit generic. But I like the world.
The issue is the book was written in 2012, finished in 2012, and the movie came out 2017, or was it this year even?
It was this year. It was
then it was this year, yeah. And like you can see some of the, even though it was only 6 years difference. The author talks about a lot of retro stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it was all about
for
referencing
example,
80s and stuff. The games.
Yeah. For example, the main character in a race, he drives a DeLorean from Back to the Future. But then, because it's now 2018, they also crammed in some stuff like
Tracer.
Overwatch, Overwatch and StarCraft 2 and Halo and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right.
It's like Wreck-It Ralph for adults, right?
Was Wreck-It Ralph in the movie?
No,
that would be funny.
But all in all, it's a very entertaining experience. I can wholeheartedly recommend.
I'm more interested
in who likes video games.
What was the other video game movie that like had Pac-Man in it and stuff? And I heard it was bad.
Pixels?
Oh yeah, Pixels.
Well, it was bad because it was made and produced by Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I always hear shit. I just know him by the name. Like.
I loved him as a kid, dude. He's like the funniest fucking guy.
Better movies than now he's just doing trash and getting millions for it.
Yeah. I don't know if I rewatch those movies now that I loved, if they were legitimately good for the time, or if it was just because I was a kid and I thought
is it any movie that I know from?
Many movies. I don't know if you'd know any of them, like Happy Gilmore and other stuff that I can't think of right now.
Nice.
It's all like potty humor and like stupid.
Yeah, and I think at some point there are still people though that enjoy that kind of humor. Otherwise, films wouldn't be successful as they are if they're garbage. I noticed that when someone told me to watch 21 Jump Street. It was actually Candyman who told me to watch it.
Okay.
And he found it hilarious. Like, he loved that movie. I don't know if you knew about it. Do you know about the 21 Jump Street?
I've heard the name only.
You know the meme, my name's Jeff?
Oh, right.
Is that where that's from? Yeah.
Okay.
And I started watching it, and after 20 minutes, I just stopped.
Oh, I know the feeling.
I did not enjoy it at all, that kind of humor. But other people seem to love it.
It's really specific,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I've been playing Hitman, finally. I finally got into this reboot after all this time. I played all of the other ones, including Hitman Go, which not a lot of people can say. Have you played Hitman Go, Rage?
No.
Because I know you like Hitman.
But wait, have you played Hitman Sniper Challenge?
Yes, of course. I pre-ordered Absolution and I was a bit disappointed, but I still pre-ordered it. The Sniper Challenge was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was fun. But yeah, I mean, so far I'm enjoying it. I don't know why they fucked up his face. There's something wrong with it. Like, he looks more manufactured now. He does look more like a clone. But I don't know, they changed something that I really liked about his look. Like, he always changed his look in all the games, but there's some sort of consistency.
He just had a really unique and he just had a unique face, and now he just looks more generic, like just some dude now. You know?
Also, God, one thing that's really annoying me about the game though, after I turned it off, I enjoyed it a lot more. But like, you walk into a room Like the first level, you walk into a room and there's two people talking in there, and then immediately before they like even finish the sentence, a thing pops up. It's like opportunity discovered, and you click F1, and it's like, oh, these guys are talking about the model that looks like you, 47, and you could use this to infiltrate the target and kill him, and like it tells you how to do the whole hit, and before they even finish the conversation, and it's like they're just hand holding you the whole way, and no other games did that before, and like it was never needed. People aren't stupid; they can figure it out.
I mean, they are.
Well, yeah, but you can turn it off. So
Yeah. Once I turned it off, I enjoyed it a lot more. But that's
It's-
fine. Like it makes it accessible for more casual gamers. I'm fine with that. But just if they give you an option for difficulty at the beginning, and if you click easy, then it shows that stuff. Then I'm fine with that. But to have it on by default, it was like kind of ruining the game for me.
yeah, that's one moment. Like
Yeah.
it's an oversight in UIs, but, or user interaction.
I feel like a lot of games do this thing where they just hold your hand, you know, like newer modern games. Like old games gave you nothing, you know.
There's a good balance though that you need to strike. as
Yeah,
well.
but this is also like involvement. No, evolution rather. Not the wrong word. Evolution in integration of users, because not everyone is as game or video game affine as some people, and some
Yeah,
people
and
actually genuinely need those explanations.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm fine with the option. Just if they just because I didn't know that you could disable it for a while. That's why I just would have appreciated some difficulty setting at the beginning. But I'm actually so far it's a pretty cool. Like it seems pretty faithful to Hitman. Like the levels are so big and there's so much to do.
Yeah,
And-
especially if you compare it to the last game,
Absolution.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Absolution. There were no opportunities, stuff like that. It was more stealth.
I replayed it recently, and it was actually it's still pretty fun, and like, I mean the story is kind of all over the place, but still moderately interesting. It was
Yeah.
fun, but it wasn't a Hitman game because like I started playing on hard difficulty because that's how I play all the Hitman games, and like people are detecting me immediately because you put on a police officer uniform and then all the other police officers know all their comrades supposedly, so they instantly will like detect you if you're next to them. So I had to turn it down to normal because I was just constantly losing and it wasn't fun.
Yeah, and also there are a lot of sections where you are forced to stealth, like not disguising, but like really stealthing through.
Pretty much the whole game, most of the game. You need to like
Yeah.
use cover as opposed to the cool thing about Hitman, which is like hiding in plain sight with a disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that. I'm actually looking forward to the second one when I beat this one. I won't buy it now, but have you like is the whole thing gonna be co-op or was it just that like pre-order mission? Do you know?
I don't know.
I don't think it's the whole thing. No.
Okay, yeah. I really like the idea of a co-op mission though, or even just a like mode, like someone is scouting with a sniper, like basically sniper challenge from Hitman Absolution, but also one person is playing 47. I think that sounds really cool if they do it well.
Who's the other person?
48.
What? Not
Or
46?
69 actually.
I was thinking 76. Like, soldier or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm having fun with that. I'm also playing Majora's Mask, but I'll talk about that more when I beat it. But that's pretty great as well.
So I've been watching some speedruns of Hitman, and I've been watching this YouTuber called CJ.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently in Hitman 2, you get the missions from the previous Hitman from 2016,
Right.
but with the new engine, right?
Okay.
And so the missions are the same, but some of the mechanics are different. So you have to
Mm.
run them differently.
Okay, that's cool. Like Left 4 Dead style, where they just imported all the old campaigns and Payday as well.
Yeah, something
So
like that.
no reason to buy 2016 Hitman anymore.
I mean, I think you have to have the 2016 Hitman
okay.
to get the legacy missions.
By the way, why did they name it just Hitman? Like I'm so sick of that. This new trend where they just like reboot something and just Hitman. I mean, we're lucky with this franchise. At least the first game was Hitman Codename 47. So there's a little bit of distinction you can make.
But many did, like a lot of franchises did that.
I know, but I hate it, man. Tomb Raider.
Oh my god. Yeah, Doom is the worst because, you know,
Well-
Doom is a classic. And then
Yeah.
you search Doom and it's like, oh, which Doom?
Yeah.
The Tomb Raider was like a reboot, though. But
Yeah,
they
and they're
are
all kind of
technically
reboots.
They can at least call it, I don't know, they can give it a title. It's just annoying. You can't just call it the same
Just
thing.
give it a
like
subtitle. That's all I ask for.
Yeah.
Guf, did I interrupt you, or was that pretty much it?
No, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, speedruns are. Have you guys tried speedrunning? I know you speedrun Slay the Spire, Guf, right?
I tried.
You tried getting into that.
I was pretty bad at it.
Yeah, speedrunning, there's something really fun about it. Like, if a game has time challenges, I'll usually give those a shot. Because the game is so different when you try to really run through it. It obviously depends on the genre. Like, if there's a lot of platforming and stuff, then it's a lot more fun in my eyes. You try to take shortcuts and stuff.
The only games I think I've tried to speedrun are Rayman games. And you know the Origins and Legends have time trials and shit. But I've actually done it with the old one, with Rayman 3. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, let me try to go as fast as I can, but it's it's not that fast paced like Origins and Legends, so it's still
Rayman's pretty slow. Rayman 3.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. It's like it's a bit more stressful, a bit more exciting.
I love because I like to go for achievements in games, and I really like when achievements try to challenge you to play the game in a different way. Like, for example, like you said, speedrunning. But like in DMC, Devil May Cry, another really stupid title, by the way. Devil May Cry. There's a difficulty where you kill everything in one hit, but you also die in one hit, which I think is really interesting, and I really love stuff like that. I think really makes you play differently. Have you played? I think you played DMC, right, Rage?
No, I never did.
No? Have you played any? Has anyone here played any Devil May Cry games?
Nope.
No? Okay, because the new one's coming out. It looks pretty cool.
Well, I saw you play them, so that counts as me playing them, right?
Well,
Yeah.
well, again, you will love the Hitman though. Then there are a lot of achievements where you have to play a lot.
I thought you were gonna say
styles.
it's like Devil May Cry. What?
No, but there are a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
Like what I liked the most were the sniper challenges.
Yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy it. I think I'm gonna go for all the challenges and opportunities and different ways to kill. I'm really enjoying it. I think it seems really faithful to the.
Oh, the hardest one will be interesting.
The hardest level, you mean?
Yeah, I don't remember what. No, it's like there is one challenge. I don't remember what it's called, where you have to not get spotted, kill only the targets, and escape
And only in your suit,
quietly
right?
in your suit. Yes.
Only in your suit, yeah.
Only in your suit.
Isn't this the game that when it came out, it was all over the place with episodes
Yeah, and people really dislike that.
Gee, I wonder why.
Funny thing is, I watched some of the interviews for the new Hitman game that's coming out soon, and all of the developers and PR people said, "Yeah, we did the episodic format, and people loved it."
No,
Wow.
man.
And I was like, "What?"
Are they doing it again?
No. Because
why-
of a different publisher now. But I was like, "What? What the hell?"
Why even lie about that if they're not gonna do it again?
That's such a. Because
They might not even realize. That
I would
people-
say,
Maybe.
yeah, they didn't even realize, or they are just in denial. But I still believe that the impulses didn't come from IO Interactive themselves, but from
Square Enix.
Yeah, Square Enix
They're-
at that time did everything in episodic
Yeah,
format.
yeah.
We were like,
They're-
what the hell? Life is strange!
Yeah, that was sold well. Let's make Hitman fucking episodic.
They were planning to make the Final Fantasy VII remake episodic.
Oh boy.
Oh,
What? A game that's already out? That doesn't even.
No, the remake.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like the story is already there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird.
I-
IO is independent now, right?
No, they switched to different developer as far as I know.
Different publisher, you mean?
Sorry, yes. Different publisher.
Because Hitman, the original reboot.
I think, is it
is-
Silver? Let's see.
Is it? I'm checking right now. Hitman, the original reboot, now is published by IO themselves. And,
Yeah, because
it's
they
Warner
were-
Bros. It's Warner Bros.
Oh boy, no.
Oh, that's gonna be. Oh man, Warner Bros.
Well, it's like,
is really.
but that's the issue. There are barely any publishers left that aren't scumbags.
THQ.
HQ is dead. They
yeah,
revive like they're a shadow of the previous THQ.
They seem pretty decent.
Deep Silver is quite fine, and not because just they're German.
Yeah.
But outside of that, if you look at any of the American publishers, which are probably all of them, like that's the only ones.
Honestly,
I know.
Square Enix is not that bad. I personally think like
they
they
did
do
some scummy stuff, but it just didn't
like
get public. They did all the scummy shit, all Activision and EA did. And
Deus Ex Mankind Divided also was really fucked up. Like they forced DLC onto it, and the worst part, they released like shitty Deus Ex mobile game, and you can, if you play that mobile game and you like connect it to your account, you get in-game rewards in Mankind Divided, the PC game. But I'm never touching that. But it's like, why?
Yeah,
Why they're like forcing all this stuff? But other than that, they are actually like their ports are good, and they always like
they
do sales and stuff. I don't know how to explain it.
They do the same shitty tricks and things, but they just don't get as public as others. Like, do you remember also for the latest Deus Ex game, the pre-order thing? Like, make your own pre-order, and they got burned hard by that, and they stopped doing it.
Doing what? Pre-ordering for what?
No, you could pre-order, and then you make your own pre-order edition, stuff like that. Like really aggressive pre-order tactics.
I mean, all games have pre-order options. Like, what do you mean? What are the details?
Let me check. Remember it quite.
I don't know. I feel like for the most part, Square Enix is pretty good.
They do the same shit.
Who published Dead Space?
EA.
Oh, so they did that fucking bullshit with the crates in game.
Yeah, and then they shut down the developers.
Oh, that's so stupid, man. I hate
That's
that
not
shit.
the only reason, like, because Dead Space 3 is all shitty.
I mean, it was
But
fun.
it was also like for the entire Dead Space franchise, EA had planned like a multimedia campaign. Like there was the Dead Space comic, the
movie,
Dead Space animated movie.
Come get Dead Space lunchboxes and
Dead Space books. So and some of that shit flopped really hard and ridiculous.
There were a few shitty Dead Space games.
And like that's like the biggest curse of the publishers these days. Have you heard about Activision and the Black Ops 4?
I mean, there's a lot to hear about Activision and Black Ops 4.
Well, the biggest news was basically Black Ops 4 sold and made a revenue for about $500 million. Half a billion dollars revenue. And then the stocks plummeted, I think 6% or 16%, something like that.
Yeah.
They plummeted.
Damn.
After selling $500 million worth of video games from one video game.
I mean, it's not Activision.
Because it is because shareholders expect growth, and with $500 million, you didn't sell as much as the previous, or just barely more than the previous Call of Duty. No growth, and that's why shareholders pull back. That's why shares plummet.
I mean, I was just saying that's not Activision's fault. That's the shareholders that like.
Yeah, but it is because they like are milking the market for every cent they can get to get more growth. At some point, the money will just run out.
I wonder if it was moving the game to Battle.net instead of Steam that did it. Do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Because COD isn't that huge on PC, right, compared to consoles. So
it's still one of the biggest PC
releases
every year. Everyone knows about it, and if they don't see it as Steam, they will ask themselves, "What the hell?" And of course, there's always the retail market as well, which is diminishing, but it's still a big fraction of the sales.
Yeah. But I still think COD makes most of its money from consoles. If I remember correctly, I remember reading that it doesn't sell that well on PC for the most part.
It does.
I'm just saying
it isn't as bad. But it changed. Like if you think back on 2010, 2011, where many publishers thought, "Oh, PC video games are dying out." It's the funniest thought ever. And no one focused on PC gaming anymore. And many were burned by it. Yeah, but nowadays it changed. For example, there are almost no console exclusive titles anymore.
So happy.
Especially not for Xbox.
I'm so happy that a lot of PC games are coming to PC. Like a lot of Japanese developers are finally realizing that PC is is worth it. Like Capcom brought Monster Hunter, and we see a lot of like all the Final Fantasy games came now. We get Evil Within. We get
a lot of remakes. Yeah.
a lot of remakes of like old school Square Enix games.
Yeah, they are late to the party, but it's a good. Like at least they are coming, and you notice like how little experience Japanese or Asian developers have with PC developing.
Because the ports are always a little bit wonky.
Yeah, like the best example, for example, Dark Souls 2 port, where they brought it out on PC in 60 FPS, and on consoles was 30 FPS. And because on PC it was 60 FPS, your weapons degraded twice as fast.
Oh
man.
my god, really?
Yeah.
Because it was like, the degradation was fucking
It
tied
was
to the
somehow
frames.
tied to the frames.
That's funny.
Or Capcom with Monster Hunter World was poorly optimized, but the funniest thing was that the game always thought that whatever your PC had, regardless of what your PC had, it always thought you have 32 cores available.
Oh man. Oh. And so like just
and you notice
fry your
like
CPU.
they are learning, so the ports are getting better. Like if you think 10 years back or even 6 years back, the ports from Japanese developers were garbage.
Yeah.
Hot garbage. Like first Dark Souls was horrible.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
I played it years after it came out to Steam. And it was fine.
Sorry, go for it.
That's it. It was fine. But I mean, I think I played it at 30 FPS though.
Yeah, there is an unofficial mod you can download and install, and it fixes a lot of issues, like a lot of performance issues.
Yeah, I went in without that, but I can kind of stomach 30 because I played a lot on consoles. Now it's a lot harder. Now I've been a PC gamer for like 10 years. But I can get used to it.
And while we're on topic on Dark Souls for Switch came out as well.
Dark Souls 1? Oh yeah, the remake, yeah.
And it's supposedly pretty good. Like it runs smooth, 30 but smooth. Yeah, on the Switch.
The Switch is doing well. Like there's a lot of games coming out for the Switch now.
Because it went into a market that no one had a scope on. Like when Switch was introduced, everyone laughed at it.
What, did they?
Yeah, because when they first saw it, everyone said, "Why the hell would I need that?"
I feel like
because no one thought. Some people said I will never use it at home. Some people said I will never take it with me because no one saw something like that before. It is essentially a new market for full-scale video games.
Yeah, it's definitely super convenient.
Yeah, because what Switch basically is a fucking tablet. It's a fucking tablet with a controller. It is a tablet, technically. It is a tablet. It has no active cooling. It has it is quite small.
But you can connect it to the TV, right?
Yeah, you dock it and
you have your controllers and stuff. You have everything for it. But
I feel like the reception was pretty good though when it was released, but maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong about that.
Like many experts or whatever experts, people who are in the industry didn't know if it will be a success or not.
Right.
But in the end, this is a success.
Yeah, it seems to be doing so well.
I don't know if Nintendo themselves realized it or it's just like coincidence, but they couldn't compete on the classic home console market after Wii U. But Wii U's fault wasn't the fault of the hardware, it was more fault of the video game support, but still, there was no room for a third competitor beside Xbox and the PlayStation, and so they went a different route, and I hope it is still paying out for them. I didn't see the numbers, to be honest.
The Switch is doing great, if you're referring to that, yeah.
Yeah, not just the Switch, but also the company, if their shares are good or not.
I'm sure they're doing really good now. I wouldn't be surprised if it reaches an all new high for Nintendo at some point.
But that's not only because the hardware's good and because they are claiming a new market. It's also because with this generation, with the Switch instead of the Wii U, they are getting way more third-party support.
Yeah, exactly.
With
every day I'm getting
Diablo,
emails.
Dark Souls came out, Diablo came out.
A lot of indie games as well.
A lot of indie games.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they are bringing out really good first-party stuff. Like Mario Party just launched a few weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, and it looks quite fun actually.
Yeah, soul crushing rather.
Soul crushing.
You ever played Mario Party with people you know?
Yeah, I have.
Friendship destroying.
It's like Monopoly, but in digital form.
Dude.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that.
Yeah, I've only played Mario Party 4, but we had so much fun.
Yeah, the last one.
It's such bullshit. Like it's
I
like
don't think
you
it's
could.
that bullshit.
No, it is. I don't mind it. It's funny, but it is bullshit. Like you could be winning, and then it's like, oh, here, this person gets a free star for no reason, you know?
Sure, there are hints of that, but
in Mario Party, yeah.
And then the mini games can be bullshit. It's like here for a 3v1 and you get fucked, like whatever, you know.
People are trying to rob my victory though, because the last time we played Mario Party, I won like 6 times in a row or something. But there is a pinch of skill because I was winning most of the mini games, and so that got me a lot of stars.
Yeah, the skill comes from the mini games, and then the luck.
I don't think it's completely luck, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. The luck comes from the board game part, where you don't really, you know. But yeah, the skill comes in the mini games part. But even the mini games can be bullshit sometimes.
It can.
like I just want to mention one specific one that just tilted me because of how stupid the perspective is, where you like swim and you have to go through rings. And the rings perspective is so bad, like it looks like they're further away than they are, and it's just really annoying.
Yeah, it's so fun though, even if you lose. Like I really love that.
Yeah, it's really funny. How many players can it be maximum?
4, I think.
4. The newest one's definitely 4.
Yeah, okay. So because I was thinking it would be fun to have like, I don't know, 6 people or something, you know. But I guess you can't go more than 4.
Okay, we have both of you here. I want to ask. Darth Vader, right? Is Vader father in German or Swedish?
Wait, what?
No.
Darth Vader?
Vader, right? It's close to Vader.
Vater, with the T.
Vater, okay.
No, with a V and a T, like Vater.
Okay, so it's okay, because I was told that it's Swedish, and I was like, it's not Swedish.
Not.
But yeah, okay.
Well, how do you say?
Neither of those are words in Swedish.
How do you say father in Swedish?
Far.
Pretty different.
I mean,
that should be the next
F-A-R.
Okay. Like, so people in Germany, did they pick up on the fact that Darth Vader is his dad? Like,
because it is close, Vader.
Yeah, we're like when he reveals it, they're like, yeah. I mean, obviously, his name is Darth Dad. You know. I don't know, Rage.
Sorry, what? I apologize.
All right, forget it.
I thought we finished. Yeah.
No. I was just asking if people in Germany knew at the time that Darth Dad is called Darth Dad.
It's a different word and it's pronounced completely different. Like.
Yeah, but when you see it written, it's like.
I'm hearing 1 letter difference, but.
It's Vader and Vater.
Okay.
Speak it out loud. It's completely different.
Sure. It actually reminds me, Greek is butchered a lot in games. Like.
And movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Guf in Killing Floor Incursion. It's a VR game. There's just like a tablet of randomly spewed out Greek letters that make no sense at all. Because I can read Greek, and I don't know. Greek is butchered all the time. Like there's this TV show. I think it was Xena Princess Warrior.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Where this
It's an old.
It's a really old TV show, and this chick goes to some cavern where like wake up these ancient souls or whatever, and she needs to read a scroll, and she says, Yasu kalimera, Yasu kalispera, Yasu kali noches, which basically just means hello, good morning, hello, good night, hello, good morning in Spanish, like noches.
Good night in Spanish.
Good night in Spanish, good in Greek, and then noches in Spanish. Like, what kind of incantation is this to wake up ancient souls? And I like how it changes to Spanish in the last word. Like, oh man, like no research, no shit's given.
But like, it's still happening to this day. Like in every Hollywood movie, whenever they use a foreign language, like I noticed it with Russian, they sometimes butcher it up horribly.
Yeah, but
sorry.
I watched the John Wick movies yesterday, and they have Swedes playing Russians in both movies.
Oh boy, are they speaking Russian?
Well, yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know how well they speak it though, but but okay. The first movie, it's like a semi-famous Swedish actor. I didn't recognize him at first, but when he goes on these long rants in English, I was like, wait, that's a Swedish accent.
All right, so they're trying to pass it off as a Russian accent, but it's
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, nice. Did you enjoy the movies though?
Yeah, they were really good.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to watch those. I remember I just saw John Wick in Payday. I was like, who the fuck is this? Who's this non-masked guy? Like, who does he think he is? But then I started hearing that it's from a movie. Yeah, no, they look really cool actually.
I wanted to add more to butchered languages. One time I saw on YouTube, I don't know what the fuck this was. It was like a wannabe documentary made by some guy that's popular on YouTube, but I don't know who the fuck he is. And supposedly he was talking about Romania, right? And he was saying that, oh, look, I met this Romanian person, and she's telling me about Romanian stuff, you know? And I like the beginning. He's like, oh, I always thought... He's American, of course. He's like, oh, I always thought Romania is just a fantasy place from Dracula. And I was like, oh my fucking god, why would you say those words, you know?
Oh, man.
And then, like, that was one thing. But then the quote-unquote Romanian chick starts speaking Romanian, and I'm like, fuck off. That's not... Like, she's obviously just a fucking American person or just non-Romanian person trying to speak Romanian, because it was completely wrong. All the pronunciation was completely wrong. And this guy was trying to pass her as a real Romanian person. Like, oh, look at me. I met a Romanian. And I was like, yeah.
Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he was just being pulled along.
Someone lied somewhere.
Maybe she was lying. She was baiting, like, oh, yeah, I'm Romanian.
Yeah, but I was cringing so hard at the mispronunciations and the fact that they were saying that, yeah, she is Romanian. And it's like, God, it's so bad. But this is related, and also back to Hitman. I was surprised to see, which Hitman was it?
Contracts.
Yeah, they were Romanians.
Oh, actually, in the first game, Hitman is conceived in Romania. Like, the lab he's made in is in Romania, which is kind of funny. But... yeah, you were talking about in Contracts, like how they actually speak Romanian to you.
Yeah, like
the first mission is
Romania is one of those countries that most people don't even know, or it's never represented in anything. And then I was like, what the fuck? There's Romanians in this, and they actually got Romanian actors, and I was like they actually speak Romanian.
I appreciate that effort. It's pretty cool.
I felt the same way in Breaking Bad. Remember there was the guy that was Romanian?
Bogdan.
Yeah, Bogdan. He was Walter's boss at the car wash place, and I was like, what the fuck? It's so, like, I mean, you hear other languages all the time and stuff.
Not that often. And Hitman is like so global, like
I know, but that's like French and Spanish. That's always
you hear those a lot.
You hear those all the time, and it's like, yeah, whatever. But it's like, holy shit, Romanian.
I felt that too in Assassin's Creed Revelations. They're in Greece at some point. You hear a bit of Greek. Actually, Metal Gear 5 starts in Cyprus, like specifically Cyprus, which is really cool.
And like
they're speaking Greek. They have, I mean, if I remember correctly, it was a Greek accent, not Cypriot, but it was still really cool.
No, I think the doctor guy had a Cypriot accent.
And it wasn't redneck Cypriot, like, but it was cool. I really like seeing that kind of stuff. It's interesting to see that. But yeah, in the new Hitman, they did away with languages. Like, you're in Italy, but they're speaking American English. But I guess they just wanted you to have the consistency of like easily understanding what people are talking about, because probably 47 is trained in all these languages and should understand. I guess.
But honestly, it kind of makes like, sure, maybe it's nicer gameplay wise, like it's easier to understand, whatever. But I think it's just more boring. Like, it's kind of cool to hear all these languages. It's like, oh, it feels more like, yeah, I'm in Italy, But it just felt like it looks like Italy, but it's Americans. Everyone's American. It's
but
like,
that's the same in movies as well. Like, whenever you see like bad guys or just foreigners and they start speaking in English, it's always a choice. Like, do you want for the audience just to like hear it?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go for the authenticity where some people will be put off by it?
What I think the best middle ground is what Assassin's Creed does, where they have the accent and they speak English, like the Animus is translating supposedly.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think that's the best middle ground, because you get like you kind of I forgot what the word is now, like suspension of disbelief, where you're in Italy, they're speaking English and they have this like Italian accent. Get legit Italians to speak English, so it's not like some Mario ass like wahoo, but you know it's like proper Italian, but they're speaking English and you understand. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, and maybe like background people
speaking actual Italian.
Yeah, because like it's not important what they're saying to understand. Yeah, I think that's the best, because it just feels so, you know.
Wasn't sure. I was in Italy, but I wasn't sure if I was hearing, is this an American tourist or? And then they're all speaking it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is just the Italians
so
speaking.
there is, like you say, oh, it's easier for gameplay, but you were a bit confused. You were like unsure if these are supposed to be Italians or Americans, you know? Yeah. But sorry, now that on the topic of accents, I also don't like when they do shitty. Like, there's so many, like everything has done this, where there's the foreigner character that like speaks in English with the accent, and it's usually a bad accent because it's not actually a person from that country, and then they just drop a fucking random ass word in their language just in the middle of the sentence, as expecting the other person who doesn't speak their language to understand. Like, nobody does that.
Guf does it in Swedish. He's always like talking, so I played this helvete fucking game, and it was just like,
yeah, sure.
Like,
excuse me? What?
Not a single real person does that. It was a joke, Guf, don't worry. Yeah, I don't know. It's so stupid. I don't get it.
Like, maybe I would do it as a joke sometimes with some, like with you or whatever, but you know.
Or they're like, or they can't think of the word and they're like, what is it, in their own language, or.
Yeah, but even when I can't think of the word in English, I don't say it in Romanian because I
don't know. It's like yeah.
But it was also Hitman. There was this Russian guy or whatever.
In Hitman 2.
I like how you remember.
Because I just replayed them recently.
Yeah, there's this Russian guy who was like talking to an American guy, and you know, he had a Russian accent, whatever. But like every sentence, he would add a Russian.
Sentence.
He would add a Russian word, and it's like,
no, it was a Russian sentence, then an English sentence, then Russian sentence. Like, it was long phrases.
Yeah, it's like chipula mea, I can't believe this, you know?
Yeah,
and
it's
like
fucking stupid.
It's like the other guy has no idea nobody knows what the fuck you're saying, you know?
Maybe once or twice I'll understand. It's just a tool to show you like they're from this country, but I don't know.
think the fucking accent
it just sounds stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, and also sometimes they really exaggerate accents. Like, not everyone, you know. Yeah.
It's gone better.
I think
it's
Overwatch.
Well,
Overwatch does it pretty well, I think. And some, I mean, like, not Torbjorn.
The languages you understand, you think they do it well, right? Like,
I mean, okay, with Mei, you know, the actress is actually Chinese, but I like that she doesn't have a super thick accent. Like, sometimes she kind of sounds American, but also, you know, it's real.
Yeah. And like, Genji sounds legit to me. I think he is Japanese. The voice actor.
He is. But
I remember reading comments like, "Oh, Tracer sounds so awful," but the actress is English.
Yeah, dude.
And also, even without knowing that she's English, it sounds. I've lived around English people my whole life. It's perfect. It's fine. Like, I don't know what people are talking about.
They were all Americans probably saying that. They just don't know. It's just because she's so stereotypical, like, cheers, love, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been exposed to the accent a lot, so I know when it sounds legit, but...
And they do say cheers a lot.
But Rage, you said you speak Russian fluently, unlike me. You said Zarya's off, right? Like, she says some things a bit weird.
Yeah, not the pronunciation, but like the
accent, like which syllable.
Intonations.
Intonation, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So she's not Russian then, probably. And Torbjorn doesn't ever speak Swedish because the actor is probably not Swedish at all.
I watched the voice actors from this panel from this year's BlizzCon.
Yeah, they just did one. Yeah.
And he actually spoke Swedish.
It was horrible.
It was horrible.
Oh, okay. So he's not Swedish. All right.
Oh no, he's not Swedish.
But Brigitte's voice actor is, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, she sounds legit Swedish, but Torbjorn sounds like hergy dargy, you know, like not the real Swedish. But it is funny though.
He sounds
Why
silly,
do it?
Right to it.
Like, it sounds kind of like Italian accent a bit. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like, it has that na na na.
It's because both like stereotypical Italian and Swedish are both like melodic, cartoony almost accents.
It just makes me think like he's so much like a real like dwarf, you know, from
It doesn't make any sense.
World of Warcraft or whatever.
And then the Lost Vikings as
Yeah, I
well.
was gonna say the Lost Vikings are like that.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the Vikings. Yeah, that is us.
Dude, they need a Torbjorn skin. All 3 of them. Imagine that. I just thought of it.
Yeah, but like 3 different Torbjorn skins.
Yeah, sure. Oh, wow.
Big Torbjorn, little Torbjorn, and
One
middle.
can dress as the turret, another one as Brigitte. Dude, that's fucking great.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Overwatch. I guess it's a bit mixed because like Torbjorn is really off and Zarya is.
The issue with Overwatch, it's not like pronunciations, more the characters themselves. They're just stereotypical.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I mean,
Like Zarya is
borderline
strong
racist.
woman. I will hug Siberian bear. Like
Yeah,
that is the stereotypical Russian woman.
and
you
the
know?
fucking Japanese guys are like ninja and.
Yeah,
fucking-
but at least that's like there are people that are disciplined like Genji and Hanzo nowadays even. But Zarya is so like the only way to make her worse is if she was called Helga, you know, or Olga actually, like,
Olga,
and have like pigtails or something, you know, like. I don't
they're
know.
gonna make a skin like that.
Well, Zarya in Russian means like that's not a real name unless people want to use that as a name, I suppose. It means sunrise as far as I know.
Sunrise.
That's her last name though. I think her name is Alexandra or whatever.
Yeah, it's something else.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't offend me. Whatever. It's just.
I'm
But
trying to.
Like
The problem. I agree with you. The problem lies there, if anything.
but that's why.
it's
But
the
that's
writing.
not just a problem. That's like because it's also like without these stereotypical things, characters wouldn't be as popular.
Yeah, and I mean McCree is like a cowboy, like
Yeah.
also the ultimate American thing.
And
you
even
know?
Soldier, he's like, yeah, I'm a soldier.
Yeah, I'm a soldier. Hoorah! You know, yeah.
And he doesn't say "ura" at least. He's kind of different from other
And
soldiers.
Winston is such a stereotype on moon people. Like, it's honestly a bit offensive, actually.
You mean on apes?
Moon people? No, people from the moon.
Honestly, I feel Hammond is worse than Winston.
Yeah. He actually,
Yeah.
you're right, he's got that stereotype like round thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he has a
it's
machine
hamster
speak for him.
ball.
It's insensitive, actually. Yeah.
Not every hamster has a hamster ball.
No, I agree.
But okay, jokes aside, like, are Farah and Anna stereotypical Egyptian? Like, what is the Egyptian stereotype?
Well, we couldn't
I mean,
tell you.
I'm Arabic. I can. Anna is a really good Arabic like mom.
I think the
legitimate,
actress
she
is legit Arabic, so.
Yeah, and the way they gave her like the personality and the
Uh,
attitude, I don't know.
Are eye tattoos typical in Egypt?
No.
Dude, that's totally not real. Nobody
That's
has
yeah.
that shit.
I'm not saying nowadays. Obviously, that's like an older, maybe fucking like pharaohs and shit.
Oh,
ancient
like
Egypt.
3000 BC, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It does look cool though, you know.
It does look cool, yeah.
Like if I was Egyptian, I would embrace that shit, you know.
And I think Farah is also Arabic. Her accent's really good. So
She never fucking says anything Arabic, which makes sense, I guess, because she's not one of those characters.
or maybe I'm thinking of Anna. Anna is really good, and yeah, she speaks Arabic really fluently as well. Yeah, I don't know. They seem, for the most part, they seem pretty good. They need to introduce a patch to replace Torbjorn's voice actor, I guess.
Oh, but it's so good. Oh, speaking of patches, the next update for Overwatch requires a whole reinstallation of the game,
Yeah.
which kind of like for leaving the inconvenience aside of having to reinstall it, that kind of makes me worried. I hope they don't fucking change like the way the game feels or anything like that.
No, I don't
Like,
think so.
what could they possibly change that requires a complete reinstall?
Just some part of, I don't know, some coding.
I just really don't want it to break it because you
I
know.
don't. They can always revert it if it really breaks.
Yeah, I guess. But also the new character is coming. What do we think about her? About Ash with an E?
I lost all interest in Overwatch.
It's female McCree.
Yeah,
that's what I
Jade from
heard.
Battle Right.
Yeah, she looks like Jade from Battle Right. Like,
I like Bob though.
oh yeah, Bob is
her
good.
her robot
Yeah,
friend.
yeah,
and
Bob
I know Guf
does
will love Bob.
something. Yeah,
He's her alt, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to try that out.
But yeah, you know, after Hammond, who was so fucking different, gameplay wise, having Ash is like, you know, like, oh, whatever, she has guns, ooh, whatever, you know. But I'm still confused if her gun is a shotgun or a sniper or a
It's
mix.
like a slug shotgun or something.
But it shoots far.
That's what slugs do. Is it? It's like some slug shotgun or just some
It's
loaded
a
rifle?
Rifle.
It's
right?
like a bolt rifle or something. I don't
You know
yeah.
that ability she has where she pulls out another gun and she like uses it to like launch herself?
I didn't
Yeah.
watch him much. Yeah.
That looks just like a gun from Scout from TF2, and he can use it to launch himself.
No.
Oh,
I think Overwatch was inspired by TF2.
Oh
Wait,
no
I
shit!
think
What?
this is the
No.
confirmation
No,
right
no,
here.
no, no.
Oh no!
Oh man, speaking of Valve, there's actually been a lot of leaks recently. There's always leaks from Valve, but there's like kind of strong ones pointing towards like they're gonna probably make their own VR headset as well, standalone from HTC. And oh man, I just want Half-Life VR. Like, I think that's really likely though, right? If we ever see a Half-Life 3, which I think we will at some point,
The
they're gonna make
is-
it a VR probably.
Yeah, the question is with Valve leaks is timeline. Because a few years back we also got the Valve leak that they're working on multiple VR games,
Yeah.
which we haven't seen anything.
They
of.
said we're feeling that they're gonna announce the first one very soon. They're gonna
The
reveal the first one.
feeling is like, yeah, I don't know.
There were actual. I'm saying feeling. There were actual like hints towards it's coming soon. It might have been from them themselves. I don't remember. But there's strong suggestions that Half-Life VR will be a thing at some point, but it's gonna be a prequel.
Oh,
But we'll see.
What?
We'll see. That's gonna be such a fucking blue ball, dude.
Oh
but
no! I want to
I-
know what
no,
happens with Alex. And
what I wanna see is Half-Life VR card game, like in VR, but it's like Artifact, and you just have like a card with Gordon Freeman and stuff.
It just all seems whatever Valve is doing, there's always the risk of it being half-hearted because they are swimming in money. And
yeah, but
I
they
don't- I
seem
really- I really don't feel
Valve
that
has
way.
always seemed to care about people.
Yeah.
Like even now, they seem to care.
how
about
so? How do they care
They've
about
done.
current
I
thing?
mean, they first of all just the smallest details. Like they always let people use their IPs freely. Like you can take Heavy is in like every game.
and their
and,
assets and stuff.
And they give a lot of developer tools to really tiny indies. They help them develop games. Even now, like you said, they're swimming in cash. They don't need to develop games, but they want to. I think there is a passion there,
But
and
that's the
why.
issue. Like passion alone will not drive a successful game because always money is involved.
Yeah, but they have money, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
I
why
don't know,
that's
man.
not a driving factor for development of a game. And
Another
that may
thing, though,
impact it.
The fact that they take so long with every game, they really try to get it all right.
Yeah,
I mean-
that's.
I
yeah.
mean, TF2 was in development for 9 years, and that was before. Like now, shit is even harder to do and more advanced. Like maybe they want to really perfect
What I
whatever
will
they're making.
say, the only thing that I don't like about the practices is their like loot boxes. They pretty much invented that, by the way. We have them to
Yeah.
thank for all loot boxes and stuff. And I think the Artifact marketing is going to be a little bit strange. Like, I'm not entirely sure. I didn't read all the details, but I think it's going to be like pay a lot of money if you want more cards and stuff. But
Like
don't
Hearthstone.
quote me on it. Yeah, pretty much like Hearthstone. Don't quote me on it though, because I think there might be ways to turn it in game and stuff. I don't know fully, but
Yeah,
I'm just
but
worried
for
about that.
a card game is a bit special because that's how
Yeah, it's always been like that.
TCGs work. That has been like that since the 80s, since Magic the Gathering came out.
I still have faith in Valve. I'm just waiting for the first real game, like after Artifact, to come out, and then I'll fully see if like they still have got it or not.
I just don't expect anything.
What if they make
Not-
Ricochet
nothing at
too?
Dude, Ricochet, the card game.
Oh,
Man, I don't know. I just want Valve to make stuff again. There's like everything was revolutionary they made, and they have like such talented people. A lot of them left though, and now they have newer people again. And I don't know. We'll see. I just want to see the first real game, and then I can like fully make up my mind.
I really want something Portal, something new with Portal.
I want even a new IP.
Did you play the
man.
bridge sim constructor thing?
That wasn't Valve.
But it
Bridge
was
sim-
Valve, and
No, it wasn't.
It's Portal themed.
Yeah, but it's not made by Valve. It's just
Yeah, it was a Portal theme. It's a series. I've played it on my channel. Bridge Constructor, but they just made a Portal theme. That's it. But that's another example. Like Valve was like, go for it, make it in the Portal world. Like Nintendo would never do that, apart from with fucking Rabbids Mario Kingdom.
That's
But that was
Nintendo.
Ubisoft. That's why. I don't know.
And-
Yeah, Valve is like, yeah, you're an indie team. Take Portal. go
yeah,
for it.
or and also
But
Valve
that-
made
but
their
that's
games
not
super
like-
cheap.
It's not like saying that Valve cares for their customers and Nintendo doesn't. Just completely different company policies. And some might view
I think-
view the Nintendo point of view as old because they are like putting the hammer down on everything that's
Mm.
slightly Nintendo related. That's just their policy because they lived it differently for tens of years.
I know. I'm just saying there's many small examples like that from that Valve where I always feel like they went out of their way to do this nice thing that they didn't need to. And they wouldn't have gotten hate otherwise. Like, I understand if they do something where it's like to stop bad PR, you could see it as a selfish thing. But I just got the impression from Valve that they do
Yeah, what
care.
would impress me more, that would show me that they care, like better support or technical support for Steam. But
That's
they are
gone
not
better.
doing that.
I agree with you. That was fucking shit. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, one of the worst. But
Stuff. Yeah.
they fixed it a lot. I think Origin might have forced them to do that because Origin was doing great with their customer support.
Yeah, because the platform is garbage. You either have garbage platform or you have garbage support.
I've actually also been okay with Origin. Uplay,
Yeah,
on the other
Origin
hand,
is fine. Yeah, you
No,
play
I'm still having troubles with Origin. Like when
Right.
I last played Battlefield 1 or anything, the Origin client has to always run, you know that, right? And the newest issue I have with it, whenever I start playing something, every few minutes the Origin client tries to like get in the foreground, like take priority
Oh, that
on
sucks.
my,
Yeah,
on
that
my
sounds-
desktop. And then I'm
Yeah.
forced out of the game. And it
Oh,
happens
that's-
every few minutes.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah,
With-
but you
with-
play.
Even with non-Origin games, like if I have Origin running and playing Monster Hunter or anything, every few minutes it tries to pop up. I
Uplay is a
don't know
joke, though.
why.
We can all agree, right? Uplay is like, is there anyone that hasn't had problems with Uplay?
Uplay is the worst, dude. Like, but
The
I
issue
don't
with
know.
Uplay is it's shit. but
Well, yeah.
Full stop.
but the problem is Ubisoft is too
It's shit.
cowardly to trying to improve it.
Dude, are you kidding me? They've tried to improve it. Like, they've
No,
had
they
so
are-
many overhauls,
no,
and it still
They
sucks.
have to try to improve it in a way so that they can do the same step that EA took
Which
and not
was...
being afraid of it. Not publishing on Steam.
Oh, right. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't think... I mean, that won't fix the issues with Uplay, though.
No, but they will be forced to do it, and they will be forced to do it properly, because people
Yeah,
will
but-
have to use that shitty platform.
I don't want... Don't give
That's-
them ideas, though. Like, Uplay
No,
is
they
just-
will. They will strongly consider it after.
I'm sure they've
Activision
been
did.
considering it.
after
for ages.
after Black Ops 4, after the success of Black
Yeah.
Ops 4, even with this plummeting stocks, Ubisoft will have to consider it.
Yeah, we were talking about
It's-
how we're happy console games are finally on PC, but now we're losing PC games on good PC platforms. And
It's-
Discord,
no,
Discord
I
now,
view,
by
I
the
view
way.
that everyone is splitting up off from Steam as a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. The competition is always good. Like that's why Discord launching their Steam store, their store page is also pretty interesting. But I've already seen games suffer from it.
No, of course it will suffer, and VS customers suffer because one platform is better than 10 platforms. It's way more comfortable
Yeah.
for us. But Steam is in a position where from indie developers they take like 30% of each sale, and I would guess from bigger publishers it's a bit less because of what they are like what they contracted.
I mean, I'm not a game developer, so I don't know if 30% is fair or not. Because also Steam like multiplies their sales by who knows how much.
Yeah, but
you know?
and the issue was like you said the custom support improved. Do you know why it improved? Because EA cut their games from Steam. So Steam got an actual competitor on the online distribution market.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I attribute it to Origin because Origin had really good customer support.
Yeah, and
yeah, like
there's a joke that if you're if you're tolerant to anal pain, you should go to EA customer support to work there.
now they're fine. They seem fine now. Like they've answered me like a human, very quickly. And who was it recently? I think it was Discord as well. Discord. I was really happy with their support. It's sad that it's surprising when you get normal support. Like, on the first response, it's like they actually read my thing.
This is why even if Ubisoft splits up now, it is a good thing because it means that Steam will have to step up the game again. Like competition, in the end, competition is always the best for the customer.
Yeah, that's
it means lower prices. It means like if any of the publishers would start selling video games like without relying on tricks like, oh, the game is 60, but for everything you need to pay 100 and pre-order. But if one of them would just say, I will bring out my game for 70 euros and would get away with it, everyone will start it.
I don't know if removing their games from Steam is the competition that's needed. It's probably just competitive sales and support, like I said, from EA. I don't know if necessarily removing all of their games from sale on Steam is the way to go, though. I don't know if that'll necessarily help anyone.
No, because every step away from monopoly is better.
Yeah, I mean, I
get
everyone
you. In the end, except the top dog, of course.
In the end, Steam won't be able to make money off of Assassin's Creed and stuff. So yeah. Yeah.
But Steam right now is kind of full of garbage.
Yeah, it's honestly.
I don't know. Is it still like a really
absolutely
matter?
Absolutely, because I try to look every now and again in the coming soon. That's how I discover new games to do on my channel, and it's honestly like I can't do it anymore. So it's just like it sucks, man. I scroll for I don't know, let's say 2-3 minutes. And all of these games, it's like maybe, I don't know, 50 games coming out today, like each day, and 45 of them are not even worth looking at. Like,
but now...
I'm not even being rude, like just garbage, like copy paste from other games where it's called like hentai puzzle or something, and it's just a stolen picture of some anime chick from online, and it's like just squares that you just move around to solve a puzzle to complete the picture. Or like I've seen even lazier stuff where it's just like a non-moving sprite, non-animated. Something that I could literally make in 10 minutes. Literally. No exaggeration. I mean, no proper textures, no environments, no animations, nothing. Just 10 minutes, like pop something in, write 10 lines of code, and you have the game.
Yeah, it's...
So basically...
I don't know how they get through.
There's some surprising stuff. Like, I don't know how it's not monitored at this point.
Yeah, so it still remains an issue, but now the games media doesn't care about it, or doesn't cover it anymore because now
it's become more of a norm.
No, because now the war is against loot boxes instead.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, Steam has implemented a lot of things to prevent these games. Like they're shutting down a lot of these dumb developers. Like they are just throwing this stuff to either launder money. Sometimes they do like that, or they do it to like just make money off of Steam trading cards and stuff. Steam is stamping down on this stuff, but.
Yeah, but not wholeheartedly, because they are still with every sold.
Oh yeah.
With every sold trading card, they still make money.
Just the policy has changed, I guess. To no, but again though, you say that, but they're now implementing stuff where, again, they lose money, but they keep the marketplace clean. Like they've done this a lot with, for example, Steam trading. They've implemented so many policies like time limits to trade and stuff to check where they could have been making money, but they decide not to keep the place clean.
Well, yeah, because it made bad PR as well. That's always effective.
It wasn't PR. No, a lot of it was down to just stupidity. Like, just be careful who you trade with. It wasn't necessarily PR. It wasn't Valve's fault at all. There's stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know how much money they make from Steam trading cards. Probably quite a decent amount. But
it's easy to calculate. Not just trading cards, like every sold item.
Yeah, skins and stuff.
It's like, how much is it? 3%, something like that. Always goes to them.
I mean,
That's why the lowest price on the market is always 3 cents instead of 1.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're trying, but the trash games on Steam have like gone to an unbearable amount. I really wish they would just. It's probably better. It's probably better than the alternative that they used to have, where a lot of really gems of games were not coming to Steam because they either didn't get through Greenlight or they didn't have some other things that were necessary.
Yeah, but now they are still not getting the exposure to gems because they are buried in garbage.
Not necessarily.
They are on the platform, but they are not. They are still.
No.
They don't get the ones. They used to.
The shitty ones get rated down, or they're hidden through algorithms, and like I only see these shitty games when I look for them, or if I go to the coming soon tab where it includes everything. But for the most part, you don't see.
Stuff. That's the good stuff you see. How much of the good stuff you don't see can still get spirit into the shit.
Even without the garbage, no. Like every game that's on my homepage is good. Every game that's recommended to me, whether I would play it or not, it's still a quality game. On the homepage itself.
Yes, but how much it doesn't that is still good doesn't make it on the homepage.
Yeah, I'm just saying, even without the garbage shit, like there's still so much space, you know.
Yeah, there needs to be a middle ground where they can still allow anyone to make games, but like have some fucking, you know, monitoring shit or like maybe
someone who manually
reviews
it. You cannot manually review it. That's the
because
issue.
Then it's like, where do you draw the line? Like, well, I think this is shit, but some people might like it.
Yeah, okay, no, the fucking game with like Uganda knuckles.
I know. There's some, but again, you might be able to argue some people would buy this. You know, it's just the policy of the store has changed. It's like you make up your mind what you want to buy. We'll allow everything, mostly everything.
Which also makes sense, I guess. It's like when you go to a cheap ass shop and they have fucking shit toys or whatever, but it's like, hey, it's cheap. Fucking someone will like it, you know. But it's just so much because it's so easy to make these games. So these people are fucking pumping them out like crazy. While
but Steam also chooses not to curate. Like they at some point they made the argument like normal stores don't curate their stocks, but they do.
I'm sure it depends on the store, yeah. And also digitally,
Steam just decides to be the cheap ass discount store with good stuff in it as well.
To shift the conversation a little bit, do you guys also miss game demos?
Yeah, I do.
Because I recently saw an indie game which looked pretty cool, Mutant Football League, and I was really happy to see that there's a demo. I was like, oh, I'm gonna finally try it out. The game looks really fun, whatever, but it was all American football. I don't, and it doesn't explain the rules at all. So I just uninstalled the game in like 1 minute. But I just want demos to be back because they've solved a lot of games. It's just, I feel like when you don't see demos, I subconsciously feel like, oh, the dev doesn't have faith in their own game. Like, I'm gonna play it and not like it. But if you see a demo, it's like they're confident. This is a good game. You're gonna play the demo. You're gonna like it, and you're gonna buy it. Because I've bought a lot of stuff from like free weekends on Steam, or trials like for all sorts of games in the past, and I just wish it would come back because I really cherished it.
That's when was it when it stopped? It was early 2000s, like 2005 or 2006.
Demos, yeah.
I think maybe later.
A bit later.
Maybe
yeah, like I remember Cube with a Q had a demo. And I played that, and that's how I bought the game.
Yeah, occasionally demos still happen. Like
occasionally.
This German developed game, I don't remember the name, that also got a demo and stuff like that. But yeah, the argument back then was that it's economically not feasible to make demos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
because you need to take well, you need developer time. You need to create a standalone version. You need executable. You need to distribute it. You need to make channels like to distribute it, not just through your website. Because if you even bother to make a demo, you want exposure from it and stuff like that.
I remember Amnesia had a demo, and that's how I got into it.
Yeah.
And I remember they like put it was not even the first level. It was like just more Yeah,
I'm not saying it's not a good thing. Of course, demos are amazing, but for what they deliver, it's easier to just pay IGN for its 9.5 or whatever. So
yeah, it might not be worth it.
Yeah.
But, I suppose.
I mean, but the role that demos filled to let you try a game has mostly been replaced by other things, like free weekends, like you said, Sheep, or
free
Free
weekends,
betas
or even YouTube reviews, or YouTube or Twitch Let's Plays, or whatever.
I would say that's a real replacement because the free weekend is just a demo but timed, and obviously they don't have to reprogram the game in any way. It's just like you can play the game for 48 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
I think free weekends are genius. I mean, Overwatch, that's how we got Overwatch, you know.
And it generates excitement because I remember we were at a party and people were talking like, are you gonna try the free weekend this weekend? It's like an event, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited, and they're like, oh yeah, we are too.
It always depends. Like, free weekends don't work for every game. Sure, for almost every multiplayer game, maybe.
Yeah.
It worked
Not
for me
all
for
games.
it worked for me for Saints Row 3. I bought it because of and Sanctum.
Both of us with Saints Row 4, I think, as well.
Well, okay, we already knew Saints Row 3, so
Yeah,
like,
I suppose. But
but I remember like I played Saints Row 3 in free weekend, and I was like, damn, I need to buy this. And also, what was that one I just said? Oh yeah, Sanctum. Sanctum, I played it in 2 different free weekends that were years apart, and I nearly beat the game like that. But then I was like, lol, I'll buy it, you know.
But yeah, that's the issue. You couldn't do it with like a story through.
Well, both of these are kind of story games.
Yeah, they're both
Like
story.
more story through.
Yeah,
I mean, you could, but
Amnesia is like story.
it's up to the player if they're like, oh, I want to know what happens, buy it, or they just ruin the flow of the story. Man, remember how bad Saints Row 2 was when we tried it? That was kind of disappointing.
Saints Row 2 is a prime example of German censorship.
Oh man. Why? What did they censor? Probably like dildos.
How
and-
did
The
they
whole
censor
game.
in the best way possible? Let me tell you about it. So the German version of Saints Row 2, all the cutscenes that had either violence
Oh yeah.
or drugs and drug usage were censored completely with a black screen and the text that says this will be censored because of sensitive content.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember this. This
The
is so
thing
fucking
is-
stupid.
The thing is, that sucks, right? But it at least it works a little bit in the Saints Row universe because it's so silly and over the top anyway.
Yeah, on paper it sounds like it might be.
It sounds funny for one cutscene,
It's
I think.
shit.
Yeah, no. For one cutscene, I think it would be a
You
funny
should
gag.
have
and
an
that's it.
option. You should have an option. But someone
But
who's
you
sensitive
can't.
to this
You
stuff
can't. No,
wouldn't
it's-
play.
The issue is this is generated from like law.
It's just the German law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's German law. It isn't as like it. When did Saints Row 2 came out? It's
Years ago.
Yeah.
Xbox 360.
Like now,
early Xbox
nowadays
360.
it's better. Like
Yeah.
of some old games from the B list, like you can own them and even buy them. But they are like I think the latest Mortal Kombat was even not censored in
Damn.
Germany. So
That's quite a jump.
they are way more liberal now. But goddamn, back then. it was-
Dude, yeah, they used to be so bad that they fucking censored TF2. Like TF2, which is
yeah,
like
they censored TF2.
Yeah,
there are
like-
no.
Wait, I want to say it
Yeah,
because
yeah, go for
I had the German version of TF2, and you know when you kill someone they like explode and there's like body
Uh-huh.
pieces and blood, but in the German version the blood is yellow, and instead of body parts it's like random junk like rubber duckies and
Yeah.
springs and
Springs, yeah.
shit like that, which is funny.
It's
at
like, oh,
least.
they're robots and stuff, I guess. That was
Dude. The German version of Half-Life 1 back then when it came out.
Oh yeah.
It
They were
didn't
robots.
it didn't have real
Yeah.
soldiers. All the soldiers were robots.
And it was like Command and Conquer as well, I think. Was a game where all the commanders their portraits were replaced by robot versions.
Yeah.
I think
Yep,
it was Command and Conquer, yeah.
God, that sucks, man. But at least the TF2 one, like, it didn't, it wasn't
It's
intrusive.
kind of funny.
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
funny because the game is funny anyways. Like, but for a long time I thought it was just meant to be like that. And then I don't know what happened. I moved here or something, and then it just jolted the TF2. It just became not the German version anymore. I don't know how the fuck that happened. But it just suddenly became body parts and blood, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
That happened to me with, I think a friend gifted to me Rising Storm 2. And yeah, there was no gore or anything and no swastikas and stuff, and it uncensored on its own.
Yeah,
and also,
now the only thing left... sorry.
I was gonna say Left 4 Dead was like that too.
Yeah.
I remember in the German version, it was like you kill, hordes of zombies, and they immediately, like as soon as they die, their bodies don't even fall on the floor; they just fade away.
They fade away. I remember.
All right, Left 4
and there's
Dead.
no blood and anything.
Yep, there's no blood, no body parts. The best thing about Left 4 Dead though was the cover.
Oh
yeah.
So it normally is this. It's like a Left 4 Dead 2. I'm showing the camera right now. You guys can't see it, but it's like two fingers pointing towards the camera, which
and
in
the
Europe,
half-eaten arm,
yeah, which in Europe can be seen as like a middle finger, basically. So then they changed it. So they switched the hand to like a peace sign.
No.
They changed it so that the hand doesn't have missing fingers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but the thing I'm saying is also real.
Yeah, I don't think the Left 4 Dead thing was related to that at all, because it's just the fingers thing. They didn't want the fucking mutilated hand, so they just changed it so that it's just holding it like it's
Okay, but the thing I said is also a thing. They like turned the hand around. Look, here I'm gonna put it in.
That's the original, or?
Yeah, I mean I don't know. Am I making shit up? No, I'm pretty sure this is it. Like this was the original cover.
The link, you fucked up the link, but okay.
And then you click this, and then. Yeah.
I've never seen that one before.
Oh boy. Well, anyway, yeah, they did that.
I thought
that was pretty fun.
Just replace the half-eaten part with a finger. That's it. That's all I know.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I know too.
Censorship is funny though.
Yeah, now
sometimes.
Yeah, now at least the people at the USK, which is the German organization for censorship, they became more liberal. The only thing that's still there, it's because it is ironclad in the laws, is about swastikas.
All right, and that's still not, yeah.
It just seems to me so ridiculous to take a game where it's about Nazis and stuff and change it to not Nazis, or like remove the swastikas.
Yeah, it sucks. Like just it's like pretend. I get it. Don't support them in your country if you don't want to, but like you can't. It's about this time period. You can't remove that.
Yeah,
you might as well remove the Nazi uniform as well entirely.
It's because there are still no court rulings for video games being classified as art and using swastikas in that purpose.
So in movies and art, it's okay in Germany
in movies
to
and
depict
books,
swastikas?
yes, it is.
Okay, just not games. That's so like get with the times, man.
I mean, it might be allowed. It hasn't been.
It even went so far that like the movie from from Quentin Tarantino, Inglourious Bastards,
Right.
which is basically about a bunch of Jews killing Hitler.
Right.
That was even funded by the German Ministry of Culture.
Wow.
They're like, yeah, get those Nazis.
And then had swastikas and everything. But video games. Oh, speaking of which, quite a positive bit of news for German game developers. Yeah. Basically, the Ministry for Culture and Media Entertainment in Germany realized that the German game market is still growing. Like people play more and more video games in Germany, but the German games developer market is getting smaller and smaller. And so they are giving for next year $50 million in support, basically, for video game developers in Germany.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we might see more good games from German game developers. Like, for example, which one we played all together?
The Gothic devs and Elix and stuff.
I forgot Elix. Yeah, Elix 2. Will most likely.
Oh yeah, they've already confirmed Elix 2.
Yeah, but now they might get
even
more money for it. So.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what the GmbH is, right? I see it in a lot of German developers' names. The developer name.
GmbH? No, that's like the how should I say it?
It's like saying incorporated.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something to do with the funding.
Type of corporation. No.
Okay.
That's cool to get funded by the state, basically, by the country to
Well,
make a game.
like other media developer, like movie makers and stuff, already get a lot of money. So it's nice to see that the state is recognizing
games
as well. Yeah.
It's just I feel like games are so popular now that it's surprising that some people are still like games.
Politicians are quite old.
like Trump, who fucking blames the gun violence in America on games, even though we play the same games.
Nowadays he blames everything on immigrants and Democrats.
Oh boy! All right, let's not get into this.
and don't forget the media that always criticizes him, which is essentially every criticism he gets is fake news. But let's not.
Yeah. Back to censorship. I was gonna say, like, you guys know Zootopia, right?
Yes.
The movie?
Yeah.
The furry movie, yes.
Yeah. It was fucking great, by the way. When we watched, I watched it really late with Simi. They changed the name in some European countries to Zootropolis, even though they still refer to the place in the movie as Zootopia.
Yeah, in German, for example, as well.
In Germany, it was Zoomania. Like, as if you're gonna relate to the movie that much more.
Well, that's not about censorship. It's about.
It's just
understanding and relation.
Okay. But explain this to me. Explain this to me. It was Tommy who was on the last episode. He told us that Alien, the movie Alien, which has like such a simplistic name, in Germany it was like the extraterrestrial from space or something like that.
It was some
full German title. Let me try to find it.
The scary monster from space, it was like Alien, the scary monster from space, or something like that.
Yeah, it got an under like.
But why?
Title. Because many Germans in 1979 didn't know the English word for like alien.
That's fine. I mean, don't call it. Yeah, change it to the German word for alien, extraterrestrial or whatever.
Surely German has a word for alien, right?
I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. That was I love when they change titles like that in movies and stuff.
Yeah, that wouldn't be as scary. So it isn't as scary. That's like a 5-syllable word. Not as great.
But okay, like
Hitman, the bold guy that kills people for contracts.
Yeah, that would be
For money.
But
for money.
I like Alien. I understand more. Like it's old and whatever. But Zootopia is already a made-up word, Like, and who the fuck? Like the reasoning for changing it in Europe to Zootropolis was supposedly
because utopia is not a German word, for example.
Yeah, but utopia comes from Greek, which is in Europe.
Yeah, but it's more commonly used in English than in Germany, for example.
I know, but people.
Yeah, but
get
also
it now.
England is in Europe and they speak English there.
Yeah, they changed it there
why
too.
Propolis?
I think it's fine. It's a minor thing. I don't.
Sure, it doesn't affect the movie. It's funny, but I don't know. I think that's not giving Europeans enough credit. Like they're gonna get it. Zootopia. I get it.
Sure, but the PR jocks who get millions of dollars decided.
Okay, but what do you have to say about when video games change their names in different countries and they're still in English? Was it Ratchet and Clank?
They changed. They just changed it instead of like Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, which is a fucking great name, by the way.
Yeah.
They changed it to like Ratchet and Clank 2 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's not that bad.
So they just removed the subtitle.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about Rayman M, dude? Like they changed.
Oh, that was a mess.
Like in Europe, it's Rayman M.
Yep.
Wait. It's really mixed. Like
no. I know it off by heart. Go for it.
Just let me tell you. In Europe, it's Rayman M on PC and Rayman Arena on console. I don't know which console. Just
no.
No. It is. And then in America, it's the Rayman M that's on PC in Europe is called Rayman Arena. In USA on PC, and then the console version was called something
You're
else.
wrong.
I don't know.
You're wrong, Simi. Rayman M, I had it on PS2 in Europe. It's called Rayman M. In America, it's Rayman Arena. But it also depends on the GameCube version and PS2 version, which were very slightly different. And Rayman Rush was basically the same game on PS1, but they're all basically the same shit, and they didn't need to change the name.
I think in which is again like censorship. In USA, they changed from Rayman M because M made them think of mature. you know.
Yeah, I think
It stood for multiplayer.
and also they changed Lee's
Yeah, but
outfit in
that's
Rayman 2
because
to
the
like
ESRB gives out their verdict in letters. That's why.
yeah. It makes sense to a certain extent.
Wait, what?
You have to understand, like, video game titles have to appeal not to children, but to their parents. And if parents see something that is rated M and thinks about the ESRB and rated M.
Yeah, I get it.
Sure, and will not buy it for their child.
But I love how they changed things, like Lee's outfit in Rayman 2 was changed from yellow to white, and her face was changed for Asian markets. And like, do you guys know that Rainbow Six Siege is getting a lot of changes aesthetically for its release in China?
Yes.
Yeah. Like they're removing slot machines, even though gambling is still in the game, through loot boxes. And skulls in the HUD.
They remove blood from the walls. I mean, it's a game about shooting people. What the fuck? Like, and the neon sexy lady in the strip club, they're changing it to her hand.
Yeah. I don't do that, but I just wish Ubisoft wasn't like lazy basically, and they did it like Counter-Strike, where it's actually different versions of the game, because this is being applied to global audiences just because of the Chinese market. So that kind of sucks. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it still kind of sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah.
The game underwent so many changes that like I'm not as impacted as it would have been.
No, and it's still better than it used to be. It's going uphill for the most part, apart from some operator changes are a little bit maybe like, I don't know, I think we're gonna reach a certain point, or we've already reached it, where like games like Overwatch and Siege, you're kind of ruining the game by adding too many characters, maybe. But then maybe we'll circumvent that after we get to another threshold and we have enough characters to choose from. Like MOBA, I don't know.
I feel like it works better in Overwatch with more characters, because it's such a, I don't know, it's such an open and crazy game anyways. But in Siege, I feel like they want to add hundreds of characters. They said, I feel like that's gonna be too much.
I would argue the opposite, because in Siege there's less difference between the characters. Like, you're still gonna die very quickly and shoot but with your gun, but in Overwatch everything works very differently. But yeah. Also, because we went off of this, really, I just wanted to say, like, recently I subscribed to my Twitch Prime trial, which also came with Amazon Prime, whatever. And I reached 29 days, and I wanted to cancel it so I don't have to renew it and pay money or whatever. And I canceled it. They're like, "Are you sure?" I said yes, and then they said, "Okay, here's another 30 days free." Like, I've never seen a trial do that before.
It's I've encountered that with Audible, which is also an Amazon thing. It's like, I was like, I had this plan that I got a free audiobook every month, right? Or well, not free. I paid for it as a subscription. And then I wanted to cancel it, and they said, "Okay, we'll give you $30 store credit if you don't cancel." And I was like, "Okay."
That's funny that it's funny that they're both Amazon, because I guess they just have all the money in the world to do this kind of stuff.
Oh boy, Amazon started showing Christmas ads on our TV, like on our TV ads now.
Oh, on TV? Okay.
Yeah, like really aggressive. Like, buy your Christmas presents on Amazon. It was since I don't watch TV, I don't have a TV.
Wow, it's so aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay, I think one last question before we wrap this up. Does it bother anyone else that you're like, you know, it's late at night, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get one out, you know? You go onto your favorite porn site, and then everything is fucking incest. Everything.
Yes, it like, bothers me.
It's
Why?
Such I mean, fine.
Why?
Look, I'm not gonna shame you. If you're into it, fine. Okay, go for it. But it's so weird that like it's just been such an upsurge. Like
it's popular now, dude.
It's trending now, man. Like, oh god. And I don't know. I just find it hard to get into because I'm not into it, so I can't click a video.
Yeah. When it comes to porn, to me, I'm more of a visuals guy. Like, I don't care about the setting.
Sure.
Because it's not real anyway. So it's
I was gonna say probably all of those so-called.
Of course, they're
it's
fake.
It's just the title, like.
Of course. But it's just like, I don't know. It throws me off completely. And it's sometimes like in the video they'll keep reminding you like, oh, You know, never thought I'd be doing this with my brother. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Oh, okay. Actually, this kind of reminded me. One of the funniest things I've ever encountered in porn. I think I told you this to me, right?
I hope this is the thing I'm thinking of.
So this lady is, you know, sucking on a chode or whatever, the usual, and the guy's like, oh fuck, and she pulls the dick out of her mouth.
It's like, oh god, that's so good.
Oh god, that's so good. Yeah, she pulls the dick out of her mouth and goes, please don't use the Lord's name in vain, and then proceeds to suck a dick. Like, what the fuck did I do? And he was totally serious, dude. Like, what?
Oh, boy.
Like, I don't know. Like, do you see what you're doing? I don't think God cares if someone mentions his fucking name at this point. If he cares about anything, you know? Like, oh, man.
Okay, this is not the thing I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say how one time you were watching porn and the music playing was Pumped Up Kicks.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that, dude? Like, first of all, it's a song I recognize and enjoy. And it's a song about school shootings, and they're playing it like in the video.
And even if it wasn't, like, the mood of the song is like jolly.
It's upbeat and shit. Yeah. And then like people are just fucking saying, what the fuck? What is this?
It's such an unfitting song.
Oh god, dude. Yeah. I don't know. Anyone got any funny porn stories, or should we end it here?
Funny porn stories.
Oh, you don't have these listed in your head like I do? They haven't scarred you?
We don't have a spreadsheet in Excel about all the porn we watched.
I've only gotten through like 3 rows. I have like 10 others, but I think we'll leave it there.
You can go for it.
Well, that's similar. That's similar to like what is it? God damn it! I'm missing the name right now.
What, 2 Girls, 1 Cup or some shit?
No, blah. God damn it, no.
Blah.
That's
of the most disgusting things I saw. I think the internet.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to add it to my to-watch list.
No, you don't.
In between the Hitman movie and Teletubbies. And on that note, I think we can end the episode here. Thank you for watching the gaming podcast where we talk about porn and all sorts of shit.
And Euro Truck Simulator. Okay, I'm gonna play it one of these days, and I'm gonna come to the podcast. I'm gonna give you all my full thoughts on Euro Truck Simulator. Which truck drives the best? Which roads to drive on to get the biggest collision? Which perks to pick?
There's perks? No, you're joking.
No, there's perks.
There's actual perks in Euro Truck Simulator?
There's a perk tree in Euro Truck Simulator.
Why didn't you tell me this?
I think they have.
And now he's gonna play it.
Well, like fucking Commando Pro and...
That puts the R in RPG.
No, it's like driving dangerous things like explosives and chemicals, or driving longer distances.
So you can get like kill streaks?
Basically just like in real life where you have to...
Yeah.
Those kinds of... Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Alright. So I'll get to you when I play that. Thank you
I
for
can
joining
already
me, guys.
tell you which perks are the best.
No, don't spoil it for me. I want to figure it out on my own. I want to build up my own build, support build in Euro Truck. Check out SiminaCindy on DeviantArt, YouTube, and Tumblr. Guf and Rage, do you have anything to plug?
Check Ragewild at Steam. Please don't.
Do you want people to add you?
No, please don't add me. Just check me out. I think my profile is private.
And
check out his private profile.
Check out
my private profile.
Just check out his private Steam so you can see his picture.
Yeah, it's better than this fucking picture. By the way, this cropping is not my fault. Just so you know, this is how they set up their pictures on Discord. Anger Forest.
I love it though. It's so great.
It's great.
And Familia Goof.
Just so people don't think it's my fault. That's all.
That's Rev. Like,
yeah, Rev made these for them. And
my privacy settings.
Guf, do you have anything?
No.
No? Alright.
Not even a Facebook or something?
No.
Alright, thank you for joining us, guys. Again, feedback is always welcome. Although I think in the second episode we've perfected it, obviously. Yeah, let us know what you thought. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.